Hi, my name is Karalynn, and today I want to share with you my rewilding goals for the year 2024. This video really is more for myself than for anybody else, but that being said, I did want to share it with you all in case you're trying to think of your own rewilding goals. That way we can kind of bounce ideas off one another and just open up a conversation about different things that we can try this year that will help us to really just get in touch with our wildness. So that being said, I hope that sharing these goals will be of value to you. Let's get into them. My first goal is that I want to take a primitive skills course. I'm definitely somebody who is an experiential learner. I need that hands-on experience, and I need someone coaching me and showing me how to do things as I'm trying to do them myself. And I think that this is actually something that's really missing in the world today, is just having mentors and elders that can teach us on the land and really just have us learn through experience. I know it's definitely something that I long for, so I am going to make it a priority this year to sign myself up for some sort of primitive skills course. I would really love to learn how to weave baskets, and I would also really love to learn how to make fire with like a bow drill or something like that. I definitely don't make fires very often, but I think it's something that is just so innately human to us. We've been making fire for literally more than 1 million years. I think that if we make the effort to make fire using the raw materials from the earth, not matches or a lighter, for example, we're just going to get in touch with a different part of our humanity. So anyways, I'm excited to sign myself up for some sort of primitive skills course this year. My second rewilding goal is to forage as much as I possibly can. Now, I have really never made a concerted effort to forage. I'm definitely the type of forager in the past that would pick a few berries on a hike, but that was about the extent of it. But this year, I really want to acquire as many of my calories as possible from the land. For me, what that looks like around in my area is foraging for huckleberries, Saskatoon berries, and rose hips. Those are the 3 main berries that I really want to forage this year. Sorry, I just had to pause and think, are rose hips a berry? Can you hear the nuthatch? I love the sound of a nuthatch. So nostalgic for me. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Anyways, regardless if rose hips are berries or not, want to focus on those 3 plants. I really want to forage for them and potentially put some in my freezer to last me into the fall and winter. I also want to learn how to forage sustainably, so I don't want to be taking a whole bunch for myself, but I want to be ensuring that I'm leaving some for the other wild animals and plants and people around me. In the future, I would love to learn how to forage maybe lesser known wild edible plants, but I figured that berries are a safe and easy place to start. My third rewilding goal is to get a fishing license. I want to acquire as much food as possible from the land, and even though the fish in my surrounding area are mostly stocked fish, I figure that it's a good place to start because I don't have the financial resources to go places where the lakes are full of actual wild fish that haven't been stocked, and nor do I have the financial resources to start hunting. But that being said, hunting is definitely a goal that I have in the long term. I really have this strong desire to become a more active participant in the circle of life, in this web of life. And I just feel like I'm so far removed from it right now. I eat animals almost on a daily basis, but I don't have like that relationship or connection to them because all I see is meat on my plate. Going along with this conversation of hunting, I know that there is a ethical debate around the moral ethics of hunting. I guess personally for myself, I would rather hunt a wild animal than buy my meat from a grocery store that probably came from a factory farm. To me, that feels more ethical. And yeah, I just want to become a more conscious omnivore. I'm reading this book right now by Arthur Haynes. He's a botanist that lives in Maine, and his book is called A New Path, and it's essentially a guide to rewild your life. It's pretty comprehensive, and if you're interested in checking it out, I will put a link down below to it. But recently I was reading in his book, and he was just talking about how we define nature and how often we define nature as a noun. You know, nature is that tree, nature is this mountain behind me. But he was saying how it's time to reframe how we view nature, and it's time to realize that nature is not so much a noun, but a verb. That nature is relationship taking place, that it is living beings cooperating with one another to bring balance to the natural world. I guess it just hit me in a different way, and it really resonated with me because it's something that I've been feeling for a really long time, that I want to be a part of this relationship, that I want to view myself as nature, that me going out and hunting a deer is no different than a cougar hunting a deer. I also am an animal, and I should be able to interact with this natural world, viewing myself as a part of it, that I am nature. Long story short, one of the reasons why I want to get into fishing and hunting. My fourth rewilding goal is to do some more barefooting and to also acquire some more barefoot shoes. So a few years ago, I heard about barefoot shoes, but they seemed a little oxymoronic to me. Like, how could a shoe be a barefoot shoe? Shouldn't you just go barefoot? And obviously, yes, the preference would be to be in your bare feet. But obviously, we cannot, in our environment, especially in urban environments, be in bare feet all of the time. Nor would you want to be, I don't think. Some people might be willing to try it. I didn't really understand the concept behind barefoot shoes until recently. I only recently learned that shoes really cramp and squish our feet into this unnatural shape, and that it causes a lot of problems. And I can't believe that I'm just learning about this now at 28 years old. I'm someone who has really prominent bunions, especially on my right foot. It has only just recently occurred to me that these bunions have been exacerbated by the footwear I've been using for my whole life. I was a big Converse wearer back in the day, and even though I still think they're really cute, I don't think they were the best choice for my feet, unfortunately. So basically, I recently learned that barefoot shoes have a wider toe box that allow your toes to splay open and just have a bit more room to move. And then it's also a zero drop sole, meaning that there's no difference in elevation between your heel and the front of your foot. It's all just level. And I recently bought some barefoot boots. These are my first pair of barefoot shoes ever, and oh my goodness, it is so liberating. And now every time I put on my other hiking boots, like, I just feel so restricted and cramped and uncomfortable. And so I really would like to acquire some more barefoot shoes, but I also would like to go barefoot as much as I possibly can, not only for my feet, but also just to be in connection with the earth. I know that earthing is a big thing right now, and even though I don't have scientific studies to necessarily back up the evidence that earthing is good for you, I think we can intuitively just know that having a physical, direct connection to the land, to the earth, can only be beneficial for us. And sure, you could talk about like parasites and things like that. Yeah, obviously there are risks when you're outside, but that's just life. There are risks with anything. So, I mean, think about the fact that we put ourselves in vehicles and go down the highway at 100 kilometers an hour. Like, that to me is more risky than going for a walk on a dirt path barefoot. So anyways, I digress. My fifth rewilding goal is to make more money. The reason I say this is because the knowledge that our ancestors used to pass down generation to generation has largely been lost, and it's not something that we acquire freely anymore if you think about it. For example, in order to learn more primitive skills, I need to pay for a course. There's no way I'm going to learn on my own, at least for me. That's how I feel. Again, I'm an experiential learner. A YouTube tutorial, reading a book is just not going to cut it for me. I need to be on the land with somebody showing me how to do it. And today in our economy, we pay each other for our knowledge, for our skills. We live in a highly specialized society where we pay each other for those specialized skills. So I'm going to make more money so that I can afford to take a primitive skills course, so that I can afford to buy fishing equipment, so that I can afford barefoot shoes, all of these different things. On the money topic, I kind of wanted to share the thoughts that I've been having recently, in case anyone's feeling similarly. I've been thinking a lot about money and just how it's kind of silly or strange that in order to go back to a more simple way of living, where I am basically just wanting to acquire my basic needs through my own effort, that I have to make more money to do that. One would think if you wanted to live in a fancy house or buy a really nice car, that yes, you would need more money for that. But more money so that you can forage your food and drink from springs and chop your own wood, and I don't know, like, it just seems kind of backwards. but I've come to realize that I can either feel like a victim in my circumstances that I find myself in and just be kind of grumpy about it, or I can choose to do what's within my control. And it just so happens that there is a lot in my control. I can choose to make more money, to get back to our roots and live more simply. And honestly, that's one reason that I started this channel. My hope is that as I make more money and acquire the knowledge that I desire, that I can share it with other people and that other people can feel empowered to do the same, and that other generations beyond us will be able to start to learn this knowledge at a younger age, and that people through the generations will start to acquire this knowledge just from their relatives, just like it used to be. Those are my thoughts about money. I hope that this video was of value to you in some way, and I would really love if you would comment down below what your rewilding goals are for the year 2024. Even if it's just one, I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much to everyone who recently subscribed. I think it's crazy that 300 people have subscribed to my channel and find what I have to say even remotely interesting. So thank you so much. And I want you to know that you're not just a number to me. Like, I truly do want to interact with you. So again, I would love to hear from you in the comments. I want to hear your goals. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then I hope you consider doing so, because I really want to build this online community where we support each other and where we discuss how to rewild our lives and really just how to benefit from that practice and be healthier and happier and just more alive. I think that's everything that I have to say. Thanks for listening. If you've made it thus far, I'm very impressed with you. I'm still getting used to talking in front of a camera, still getting used to being a YouTuber. Talking to a camera is just so impersonal. Like, it's just this round thing that you're staring at. It feels very bizarre. But anyways, I'm just grateful that you've listened thus far. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Until next time, bye. Oh, my knees hurt. Oh gosh. Oh, I feel like an old woman. Oh gosh. I should have stood for that video.